Welcome back to Might Be Manic, the place where your overthinking gets a microphone. Tonight's episode is for the ones who've been doing the work so long that you forgot what rest even looks like or feels like. The ones who turned healing into a side hustle and boundaries into barricades and peace into punishment. This is a Might Be Manic mini spiral. So since the episode was late this week and I had a crazy week, I decided I'm going to do a couple mini episodes. So these are not as long as the others, but still as relevant. So let's go. Let's talk about the real cost of calm. Let's talk about the price of peace. The moon's in Pisces, which means your dreams are loud and your logic's on lunch break. You might be crying at commercials again, texting people you swore you healed from, or something like that. Don't panic, because that's just Neptune reminding you that closure is a myth and intuition doesn't need proof. Janet, she says she's finally protecting her peace, but she's really just ignoring everyone because she's tired of being the strong one. And this is where I actually got the topic from. I said, let me just do a mini because that's so valid. And so let me read it again. She said she's finally protecting her peace, but really she's just ignoring everyone because she's tired of being the strong one through that. And let me say this. I am a person that if someone tells me something that they're going through or whatever, it's just in my nature to show up to help. It's just who I am. And I don't hate doing that. But sometimes I need to not do that. Because it's like, I hate to be the type of person that thinks like, well, who's there for me? Because I do that selflessly. I do it because it's who I am. It's not because I want something back. But you do have to sometimes think that, because in the days when you need someone, it's like, first of all, who would I even be comfortable telling that I need anything? I wouldn't call my friends like they did. So I guess I wouldn't have what they had because I wouldn't act like they acted. I wouldn't be vulnerable enough to reach out. You know what I'm saying? So part of me is like, well, how would people know you want that? Because most of the time I want to be alone. And I do want to be alone. Wish I had someone I trusted in case I didn't want to be alone. That's probably more what it is. And like when I'm having bad days, which there are really bad ones sometimes, and I go off and I'm having these issues, there is no one I would think to call. And I think that's more what I don't like, more than the fact that there's not anyone to call. I've tried before and I got a response I didn't like. And it was from my best friend ever. And so I just decided I'm never doing that again. Because I didn't like how it felt even trying it. I don't like to feel weak or wide open. So I just suffer in silence and then complain that there's nobody I can suffer to. And truly, I've built it that way. So let's get on with our topic. Price of peace. Well, no one talks about mourning who you were before you found it, because peace, real peace, costs people. It costs chaos, validation, and sometimes the version of you everyone loved because she was easy to consume. It was easy. And when I say consume, that could mean so many different things. She was easy to confuse. She was easy to gaslight. She was easy to be around. She's not objecting to anything. She's passive and she's a doormat. Or she was compatible with them, wanting what they wanted, which was what's best for themselves. And she was team that. And it's not right if you're doing that. It is disingenuous. Because really, when you're being someone you're not to other people, it's actually a disservice to you and them. Because that's what they're going to expect from you. And then you're going to wonder why they don't like you for who you are. You haven't been who you are. So how could they? Food for thought. So when you start choosing peace, you stop being relatable to people who still need noise to feel alive. You become distant, different, too quiet lately, but maybe you're not distant. Maybe you're finally home. Peace is expensive because silence makes you face what chaos distracted you from. So the trauma, the habits, the hunger for attention dressed as love, we call it, which I'm still trying to get someone to explain to me what the difference is between love and hate, because no one has explained it in a way that I can't rebut. Another topic. The moments where you realize what you miss isn't them, it's the version of you that actually needed them. And that is so valid, dude. Like, I literally was talking to somebody earlier and I was like, my God, like, I would never be around this person. Like, I don't even know what I was thinking being around this person. And it's just that, I don't know what I was thinking, but I'll tell you, I was happy. And like, it's like when Adam and Eve ate the apple. Like, all of a sudden now I see it. And I'm like, God, okay, everyone, I get it. I see it. He's not nothing. He's not shit, okay? But I liked the delusion. It was fun, and I enjoyed it there. I liked it there. Now you turn on the lights, and now I can't act like I didn't see, you know? And now it's just like, God, I do miss the version of me that believed in those things. Because she was happy, and people will see that and, you know, ruin it. That's why there's this question, you know, if you knew someone was cheating on someone you knew, it's not your best friend, it's someone you know. You knew her man was cheating on her. Do you tell her? She's so happy. And when he's around her, he's nice with her, you know, you would never guess it, and it's going to tear her apart. Would you tell her? She's just an acquaintance. And then what if you don't tell her, and later on she finds out, he's like, well, she's seen me out with her. Or she's like, oh, I've met your friend before. And she's like, you knew the whole time? What do you say? Personally, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Because I know there was a time when I was happy and people did that to me. And it's like, God, like, I probably would have forgave him anyway. So now you just told me and it just hurts. Because, like, I wasn't going to, you know, I don't know. I don't know. It's just an acquaintance. It's not a friend. And then if it is a friend, you know, how does that change it? So it's a juxtaposition that I just have a very hard time with. But you can't get that girl back, whoever that was. And she was loud, but she was loyal. She was hurting, but she was hopeful. And you outgrew her. And she'll haunt you until you thank her. You got to be okay with what was. Life is seasons. Nothing on this planet lasts forever. And it's so funny because I think I said this before, that we meet people we love, and the only thing we want to ask them for is the one thing they can't give us, which is forever. They could give you anything else you can see, but that you can't have, and we expect that, knowing what we know. Because every human thinks that they're going to be the one that lives 100 years or does this or does that. And it's like, would you feel like you were less valuable if you knew you were only going to live 60? You know? I don't know. It's the way we humans think. Maybe, you know, maybe peace is the aftershock of survival. Maybe it's like after you see like something combust and there's like little feathers, like a pillow in those movies, and there's little feathers falling from the ceiling. That's what peace is that moment after the boom. Maybe that's all it is. We've associated it with something happy because it means you just overcome something climactic. So it's, you know, the first time you don't actually have to fight and your body doesn't know what to do with the quiet. And so we just float like that feather. So, you know, the universe doesn't reward stillness with applause. It rewards it with clarity. When you're falling, when you're that floating feather, it's like you have understanding. Like, it's like what they say about guys, like, you know, they have clarity post whatever clarity. It's like that. Kinda. I mean, it's like, you know, you now are able to think because you're not, like, as humans, it's kind of like with Buddhism, you want to get to a point of not wanting. And once you satisfy anything that is like a combustion like that, and you're floating like that feather, it's when you're not wanting anything. And when we don't want anything is when we can think clearly. And I think that's why when it comes to like nirvana, it would make sense why, yeah, the only want is to not want at all. Because when you want nothing, you can think. Like, imagine if you, like, woke up tomorrow with, like, Drake money. At first, it'd probably be very exciting. It will probably always be exciting. You would go buy everything you ever wanted. But then when you're looking around your house at all these boxes and packages and clothing racks, after some time, you would have clarity. Because there's nothing else you want. You know, and that's what I think that's the most luxurious thing, probably, I would imagine, about being extremely rich. It's because when you don't actually want anything, you can actually see who you are. And I think that's why they are able to be so creatively, you know, vast, because they want for nothing. And a lot of people can't get out of survival mode long enough to be creative. And me, I don't know. I would never not have art in my life. I'll never not do a project like a podcast or a book. I would never be able, I would never be able to be happy. Like, I remember being 9 years old on a computer in my room with like 8 books going. It's always been who I've been. Like, I'd be either playing The Sims or writing a novel. That was me. always listening to Usher though, no matter what I was doing. So I don't know, you gotta find time to let your mind show you who you are. You don't tell yourself, like we spend so much time telling ourselves in our head who we are. Oh, I'm not like that. I'm not going for that. I wouldn't allow that. I wouldn't let someone treat me like that. No, let your mind tell you who you are. There's a reason that there's that voice in your head. I don't know who it is or what. Like, it's crazy because when you think about that voice in your head that will just say things sometimes, it'll say things that I don't agree with sometimes. Like, is this cute or not? And it's like, who are you talking to? Who am I talking to? Who is that? It'll say things like, I'm like, do I look fat? No, I don't look fat, girl. I look good. Like, that is so weird because it's not from me. Or is it? Because it's like, who would disagree with themselves? Or is it us trying to tell our mind who we are? And then it's like when you think about how long ahead of time your body, like, you know how many things have to happen in your body for you to sneeze? And it's crazy because someone will jump around the corner and you'll dodge them. But you know how many things my mind would have had to have done for me to move in time? It's like I would have already had to have known you were there. And my brain had to send charges before you even showed your face so that I could dodge that. But that's another episode, dude, that I really need to do about do we have free will? But I'm getting off topic. Clarity was the point. When you want for nothing, you have clarity. When you let your mind wander, you find out who you are. You find out that you dodge. You find out that if you're fight or flight. You find out if you're happy alone. You find out what you want to eat or what you want to wear. Which is why I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV because I care about knowing who I am. So if I was to watch, like, I used to watch a lot of reality TV. Like, Jersey Shore, Keeping Up with Kardashians, Vanderpump Rules, all that. And you start dressing like them and acting like them. Like you do after some time. Because it does influence you whether you want to admit it or not. Or you might want to even eat something you saw them eat or something, It does influence you. Subconsciously it does. And next thing you know, your style's like everybody else's because everybody else is watching that show too. So for me, I don't watch TV. If I'm going to watch something, it's going to be YouTube. And it's going to be like a mini doc, like about I don't know, something metaphysical or like some iceberg explained. And so I can wear what I want and I go out and I dress how I want and I'll get compliments because it's different. Because it's literally stuff that I just thought of. It's who I am. You got to let your mind tell you sometimes who you are. I've been doing my eyebrows this entire time, and I'm telling you, one of them is like square at the end, the other one is still rounded. I've done them over and over again, and you know how it is. And everyone's like, why don't you just get microblades? It would save you like an hour a day. This is part of who I am. This is part of what I do. I want them how I want them. And plus, sometimes those microblades be turning red. I don't know, I probably should get them. Anywho, you start to realize that you can't lose anyone when you have clarity. You can't. You just stopped chasing confusion. You realize that you didn't change that much. You're not somebody different. It's growth. You've elevated. So you don't have to look at it as a loss. You don't have to say all the time, I wish I could still love that person. I mean, you probably can't. That might be true. And yeah, you might miss the version of yourself that believes in fairy tales. Everyone does. That's part of girlhood, I'm pretty sure. It's got to be. Because we all get to that point where we're like, I don't know if marriage is really the right thing. Duh. Like, it took me a while to see it too, though. Like, I have friends that say, it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I want to be in a relationship. I'm like, yeah, no, you probably don't. You're just doing it. Because that's what, it's not. They're not the Prince Charmings we saw in movies. They're not. They're absolutely not. Like, that's why. People say, why isn't it like the movie? Because you're not dating guys that are anything like the guys in those movies. They're not royalty. These guys are ghetto fabulous. That's all it is, ghetto fabulous. So you weren't healing wrong. You were just healing alone. And that's what nobody tells you about peace, that it's not soft at first. It's not just a floating feather. It's big bangs, dude. And it's not fun, and it's ugly, and it's teardrops, and it's eyeliner, and it's pillows, and it's Ben & Jerry's, and it's sleeping till 1:30 p.m. till 1:30 a.m. Then you're crying. So sometimes it's ugly, and that's just part of what it is. So you guys, let me give you 3 little tidbits here. That was a mini episode for you guys. That was a makeup episode. And I'm not even close to being done. Listen, this is not passive. It's a daily decision to not react. You're not a doormat. You're developing. You're only a doormat if you feel like one. And if someone makes you feel like that, Make sure when they leave, they step over that doormat and they don't come back in over that doormat. Don't let them back in the door. They're banned. Period. The quieter your life gets, the louder your truth actually becomes. You won't have to introduce yourself. Your presence will precede you. Kind of like that person that jumps around the corner and somehow you already knew how to react. You'll come in and they'll already know how to react. That's the goal. Also, healing doesn't make you holy. It just makes you honest. You can still make mistakes. Look, sometimes I will freak out. I'll be in here yelling. My son's like, you're just like you used to be. No, I'm just human. I'm just human. And this, me freaking out, it's just part of who I am. It is. You're not going to have all good days. You're not going to have all green lights. All good days and all green lights doesn't exist. Some days you're going to freak out. And then you're going to say, sorry, I might have lost my temper. Probably. But you know you lost your temper, and that's different than it used to be. Or you know you can be wrong, and that's different than it used to be. So don't look at all your mistakes as like reasons that you're not good enough. Don't try to validate something that you don't want to be true. Don't look for evidence that, oh, see, this is because nobody likes me. See, this is because nobody loves me. Oh, see, stop trying to make an argument against yourself. It's okay to like you. It's not arrogant. It's not cocky. Why? And if it was, say, so what? And if it was, so, okay. Some people might. Do we hate Kanye West for how he feels? No, we know that Kanye West can say what he wants to say, right? That's what they're going to feel about you, but you're not Kanye West. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, okay, you say what you want. Why not? Why would you have these thoughts, this mind, this mouth, and this presence if you weren't supposed to be known? They're going to know you whether they want to or not. They're going to know me whether they want to or not. It's going to be impossible to avoid. You're going to see me somewhere. You're going to hear about me. Someone's going to say my name. And I don't have to introduce myself. You know who I am. And that's how you should feel. So, if your inner peace era is now, or if it's on the rise or on the horizon around the corner from you, and it feels lonely, that's normal. There's nothing wrong with feeling lonely, just like there's nothing wrong with asking for help. Growth always echoes before it harmonizes. And one day the quiet will stop feeling empty and it will start feeling sacred, luxurious, like a gift, like an honor. Like if anyone was to be able to impede this, the peace that I have, they would have to be the right one. Because I'm not giving this back and I'm not giving it up for anybody. It's not lonely. I'm so happy. And I'm safe. Emotionally safe, physically safe, which it takes time to not note that as a perk. But for me, a lot of my life has felt very unsafe. I haven't been safe in my house, in many years of my life. And I am now. So why would I say that I'm lonely? No, you're not. You're strong. You got out of what you were in and you're alone now. That's a fact. But lonely is a choice. You need to look at it differently. So let's let the silence stretch. And that's the sound of your soul exhaling, little floating feather. So whether you're about to go rent some furniture, go shampoo your carpets, or go pack some lunches, that's all I have for you on this Might Be Manic mini spiral. In the meantime, keep your foot on the next, baby girl. And for the record, I just might be.